we're gonna do a special project today. And I'm going to make this as easy as possible, okay? Without having to buy a mold. I literally spent $1 on this project as of right now. But if you want to get into doing concrete and you just want to see if it's something you enjoy before going out and investing in the molds, because they could get pretty pricey, I'm going to show you guys a very easy way to make a tray. Or you could use the same method for anything. You could do pots, you could do trays, you could do anything. I made this, for instance. See this little cup here? I made this using, hold on. I used one of these cups and I made this. I'm going to show you the basics. If you want to get started, you need to use Demolding. That is the bag. But they also sell a smaller box. So if you don't want to invest in the full bag, which to be honest with you, it's better to just buy the bag because it's 50 pounds for $25, I believe. And the box is like $15 for 25 pounds, for half of the amount of pounds. I think it's 25 pounds. So it makes more sense to just buy the bag. But if you don't have the room or you don't want to just have that much on hand, or the bag, you know, the box is nice. It has a plastic bag inside and it stays nice. So, you know, that might be a better choice for you. Okay, so what I have here is a plate, or 2 plates, but we're going to get rid of one, that I bought from Dollar Tree. Okay, so we have that. This is a cap of a jar of sand that I purchased from Walmart, but there's one problem. It has this crack in it. So my solution to this, and now this is optional, is I'm going to take this stamp here and I'm going to glue it here. Okay, and this way when we do our tray, it's going to imprint into the tray. But I had another one of those stamps and I want to see if I could just find some more flowers, just so that it's not just one single flower looking kind of weird. So maybe we'll do something like that. I just need to kind of go over that crack, because otherwise the crack is going to transfer into our image. So I got the hot glue gun ready. Let's just do that real quick. I don't even know if glue is going to stick to this because it's silicone. So I don't know how good glue is going to stick. So this part is a little bit of an experiment. But we'll see. We'll see if it works. It might work. It might not work. We'll see. Okay. So let's try, you know, it's always fun to try new things out. You could also put some glue on the top of the, ooh, it actually is sticking. Let's get those strings out of there. So I'm just covering the crack up because I don't want it to come out in my finished piece. All right, so that looks like it actually worked. And then we'll put this little leaf right next to it. And again, this is optional. I'm just doing it because I know that that crack is going to kind of transfer onto our finished thing there. You know what? Let's use these tweezers to hold this. And then flip it. That'll make my life a heck of a lot easier. Okay. So there we go. This is not a necessary step. Again, it's just one that I'm taking because I don't want to go through this, waste the concrete. Not that it's going to use that much. I think we should be good with about a cup, maybe even a cup and a half. So I'm keeping this pretty simple except for this part. But again, you want to find something to put in here that's a little smaller. It could be a little bigger, but the important part, and the reason I chose this as opposed to like the bottom of another bowl or something, is because this doesn't have any like words or lines or anything. It's just a solid cap, and hopefully I'm not sacrificing it. You could use anything, by the way, too. For the center, you could use a bowl, a bucket. You know, it doesn't have to be shallow because it doesn't matter. We're just using it as a little center piece, so it kind of dips in. The next step is using something to grease this so that it comes off. So I'm going to use some olive oil spray, and I'm going to do the same on here. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab a paper towel, and I'm going to, ooh, I didn't really want to get that all over. And I'm just going to kind of wipe it around. You want to make sure you give it a good coating, but not excessive. Okay, just enough to spread it around. So that there's something on there. You could use regular olive oil. I just personally find the spray a little easier. Okay, so let's oil that baby up. Same with this. I don't know if this is going to affect the stamp, the glue. Hopefully not, but we'll find out, I guess. I'm just kind of oiling that up to, you know, help it release, basically. We're using this as a releasing agent. So we're just gonna pop that on there for a minute. Get rid of this paper towel. And the next step is going to be mixing our concrete. So you need water. It's another thing. I just like to use this cup to transfer things because it makes my life a heck of a lot easier. So I'm using, I'm going to put a cup and a half. I'm keeping this as simple as possible for people who don't have all the same, you know, tools that I have or whatever. I'm going to put my little mask on. And don't mind that my voice might be a little muffled. I just don't want to breathe this stuff in. Okay, so we're keeping this, I'm keeping this project as simple as possible for you guys who might not have it. In fact, I'm not even going to use this spatula today. I'm going to use the Dollar Tree one, so that if you go out and you buy one of these from Dollar Tree, it's even cheaper. And I just want to notate here that almost all the supplies I bought are from Dollar Tree. The mixing bowls, the gems that you see that we'll be using, and the spatula that I'm using to mix, and then even the mold. The only thing that's not from Dollar Tree is the little cap that came from Walmart from a jar of sand. All right, so let's move this and let's start mixing our cement. I'm going to move this out of the way just so the dry mix doesn't, you know, splash in there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water, and I'm going to add my cement. And I'm not even going to use my vibrating machine because, again, trying to keep this as if, like, you know, I never did this before, because anybody could do this. So we're just mixing it up, making sure we're breaking up all these little clumps and everything. Now, you got to look at the mixing ratio, and I'll put it up on the screen for you guys because I'm not really sure exactly what it is anymore. Because I kind of just eye it up because I know the consistency and everything, but definitely, you know, for the first time, if you're doing this for the first time, you definitely want to, you know, mix it the right way. So for me, it's a little different. I've been doing this for like 2 years now, so I kind of know the mixing ratio without, you know, without actually having to measure it. Okay. This looks like a good consistency, but we got to add the rest. All right. That should be enough, but we might have to add more. We'll see. I think that looks good. I think I'm just going to put a tad bit more water. And you want to go slow. You don't want to dump water in there because, you know, you can't take the water out once it's in there. All right. So we're looking pretty good. I could take my stupid mask off now. All right. So here's the next step. We are going to pour some of this in here. And again, I'm not using any of my stuff. I'm not going to use my vibrating machine because, you know, the average person probably doesn't have one of those. All right. So I just wanted it to spread out and see how much we're filling. So we got a little more to go here. I want to fill it like about halfway, almost halfway. Because you got to remember, once we put the lid in there, okay, it's going to, you know, weigh it down. Ooh, there's a lot of unmixed mixture here. Hold on a second. It's actually not. All right, never mind. So I'm just scraping out everything I can because, again, we only used 1 cup of this, and we see some bubbles in there, but that's all right. We're going to deal with those. I'm just getting out as much as I can right now. So the more watery the mixture is, the better it's going to be. All right, so here comes the fun part. I wish my table was level. It's probably not all that level, but let's get that out of there. So here's the next part. We're going to take this thing, okay, and we're going to just center it in there. And we need to weigh it down, okay, because we want to make a little bit of a dip. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them in there. And I see that it's kind of pushing down a little bit. I don't want it too much. And it's definitely with a tray a little harder to tell, you know, exactly where this is. I think I have it down good enough where there's at least going to be a little center. So you could use this when it's finished as like a planter tray or something, you know, for a pot. So I think we're good. I think we're pretty good here. I just wish the table was level, but hey man, can't get everything you want in life, right? Next thing I'm going to do, and again, optional, is I'm going to tear into this little bag here. And now, again, this is optional. We could leave it like this because we got our pretty little flower in there. But if you want to spice it up a little, you could drop some of these gems. And I think I'm going to take this. Does this fit? Nope. I would like to kind of pick them up like this so I don't leave fingerprints in there. So I guess I am kind of going to use this. I'm just going to kind of bury that in there a little bit. And we'll do a little pattern going around here like this. Okay. We want to do this kind of quickly just because this is going to set up pretty quick. So let me rip this bag open a little more here. I could get in there easier. You could do gold flakes. You could do all different types of things. So let's do some like green, and then we'll put some, oh boy, that one got a little too sunken in there. You don't want to push it in too much. How about we'll do 3 greens and then a white. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Whoop. It's kind of hard to do this with the gloves on. So if you want to take them off at this point, you see how I don't want that. That's what I don't want. I want it to smooth out a little bit there. These are sinking in, so maybe we don't need to push them in as much. Yeah, see how we're kind of sinking in a little bit. The gloves are not making my life easier. You know what? Maybe I'll just use the tweezers to push them down because I think that might work out a little better than my finger. This way I'm not disrupting things too much. Okay. It's kind of overflowing things here a little bit. So hopefully we're good. If not, you guys will never... Oh, man. I just made a mark with my nail. All right. I kind of like that some of these are like irregular shaped. There we go. Ooh, this is going to be so cute. If it works. Oh my God, I messed my pattern up. Look, I did 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. All right, we're just going to leave it. We're going to leave it. Maybe we'll do 4 on this one. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just winging it over here, guys. You see how we're filling it up even more, so we don't want it to overflow. All right, let's do 4 again because I messed up. 4. I also think it has something to do with the fact that don't worry about any cement that gets on there. We'll clean that off when we're done. All right, let's put this one here. This is going to be adorable for outside. Just think of it sitting outside with a little plant sitting on it, or inside. You don't have to put it outside. I don't know why I'm saying that. Oh boy. Oh boy, my pattern's totally messed up, but again, I'm just trying to show you guys the possibilities here of what you could do with this. Oh boy. We got Houston, we have a problem. All right, so my pattern's a little messed up. I can't count. I did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. What did I do? All right, we're just going to go with it. Oh my goodness. It's kind of hard to focus on what you're doing when you're talking to a camera. So my bad. I don't like that at all. Okay, well, we could always make another one. 1, 2, 3. You know, it would help if you like maybe laid this out prior to doing this so that you had a better idea of how many you could fit. But you know, why would I do such a thing? I still think it looks cute, even though it's not even, which is gonna drive people who have OCD crazy. I hope our cap didn't sink down too much in there, but I don't know. You know, you want to get at least 1/4 of an inch in there, so hopefully we didn't sink it down, you know, terribly. So if you didn't put the little penny things in there, the little rocks, you probably could have filled it up a tiny bit more, but I always say it's safe, you know, to just go halfway and then, you know, fill it out afterwards. So, you know, once you put your centerpiece. But again, this works the same way. You get a bucket, okay, and then a smaller bucket. Like if you wanted to make this into a flower pot, you would take this and then a smaller cup inside. You know, you just want to make sure the walls are at least 1/4 inch thick. So of whatever you're doing, you know, and then the other important thing is that you want to make sure you don't fill it up all the way, because, you know, it'll overflow once you put your centerpiece in. So, but it works out great. I've done this a few times. I can't find one of the pots that I made, but if I find it, I'll show you guys a picture. And it's a really cute accent and a fun project too. I mean, I have paint on my hands, so don't mind my hands. I was just painting lids for my candle vessels. You could have fun with this. Your kids could help you. It's a cute little fun project to do. But so I'm gonna put this somewhere, and then tomorrow or later, because it takes about 3 hours or so to set up, we'll come back and we'll try to demold it, which it shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. This is why I love these trays, because it's great for transporting things, you know, off your workspace. Okay, let's see if we could get this out. First things first. Might need to use these. It's not going to be that easy to pull this out, but we'll loosen it up a little. Okay, so first, some unknown reason, my camera decided to like move. I don't know. There must be like a ghost in my garage. Like, you see this? It just like turned itself. Like, I'm not touching it. So I missed the entire demolding process. You can't see what I'm doing, but I very gently pulled it out, and then I kind of pulled the sides of the mold and it came right out, no problem. But the problem was the stamps that we glued on, they got a little stuck in the inside. So, yeah, so we can't really see, but I'm picking them out. So the imprint didn't come out that great, but I got them out pretty easy. It came out of the mold pretty easy. So if you're going to do this, just make sure you use, you know, a plastic that's kind of flexible so that you can move it around. You can't use anything that's too hard, like a hard plastic, you know, because it'll be hard to get it out. You have to make sure you can bend it a little bit if you're going to, you know, use this. But anyway, I'll show you guys the finished product once I realize that my camera moved. Sorry about that. All right, so this is the finished piece. I didn't realize my camera moved, so I didn't really get me demolding it, but I'll show you real quick. It came out pretty easy. It was in here. I pulled the center out with the channel locks, which you could kind of see, and then I just went around the corners like this, just kind of separating it a little bit. And since we put the olive oil in it, it slipped out of here no problem. I mean, it literally came out that easy, and so we could use this again, you know, for a different time to make another tray. But you know, so the inside chipped off a little as I was pulling it out of the mold, and I think that's really just due to the fact that I might have taken it out a little too early. I was kind of excited to see what was going to happen, and our little imprint came out okay, but it's not the greatest. But I really just wanted to show you guys what you can do. You know, I messed up with the pattern. This is like DIY fails with Leanna here, but still, I think this is usable. It looks pretty cute, you know. You could put the little pot in here and set it up on your patio, and I think it'll look adorable. So not bad. Not a bad idea. I didn't even think about that. We'd probably be covering it. And I think we pushed the tray, you know, I think we got a good amount of cement here. Now it has dirt in it. But I think it came out good considering, you know, all the mess ups. But I really just wanted to show you guys what you can do with this, you know, concept here of just pouring cement in. You know, you could do the same thing with one of these Home Depot cups right here. They have a bigger one. I think that's what I made that flower pot out of, now that I'm thinking about it. I think it was 2 of these. They have a bigger size and a smaller size of these Home Depot mixing cups, and they're like $2 a piece. And where I had the bigger one, I don't know where it went, but I would, you know, so I took the bigger pot, filled it, you know, halfway with cement, pushed this in, filled it with rocks or just something heavy, sand, you know, something that equals out the weight is probably a little bit better. You know, this way it's being distributed. So something like sand or smaller rocks would be better. You know, and it just kind of sat in there. And then once it cured, I pulled the middle cup out and I got it out of the bigger cup, and that's how I made the pot. So you could use that same concept with a number of things. In fact, I bought these flower pots from the Dollar Tree. Hold on a second. Last year, and I had planned on making a pot with these. So same concept, you know. I'd have to find a smaller pot to put inside, but you know, you fill it up with cement, you know, maybe about halfway, a little bit more, and then you put the smaller pot, this one's a little too small, you know, inside, and weigh it down, and it'll form around the 2 pots. And just make sure you grease it up in there so you can get it out. But this one I thought would be really good because it's so cheesy, you know, and it bends. You definitely don't want to use anything that's rigid like this, because it'll, you know, it won't be very easy to get out and you'll break it. But yeah, so if you're not looking into investing in the silicone molds, because they can be, you know, like these, they could be kind of pricey. I mean, these small ones aren't terribly priced, but they have bigger ones. You know, if you wanted to do a pot that red size, the molds are upwards of like $100. You know, you might as well just buy a pre-made pot at that point. So you know, the whole idea of DIYing things is to do it cheaper. But I just wanted to show you guys the basic concept and what you could do without having a silicone mold. You can make yourself a cute little plant tray or planter or anything that your heart desires. So that's it. That's what the finished piece looks like. And happy crafting. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.